try Dilmar's fresh new look premium packs. Welcome to the Dilmar Tea Party. If you've just joined us, New Zealand won the toss. They put Bangladesh into bat and they are currently 225 for 5. Now, joining me on the Tea Party today is Marianne Delaney-Hoshek. She is the assistant coach of the Tactix. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No worries.
Do you like the cricket or are you very netball focused?
Oh, I have to like the cricket. I've got two boys, 5 and 7, who play on a Saturday for East Shirley, so I quite enjoy going to sit down and chill out and talk to all the mums. So I have to say I like cricket.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that aspect of cricket life, I think. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes do you get to take a wind down?
We've talked about that, but the game starts at 9 in the morning.
Oh, okay, so that's not such a good look if you turn up with your wine on the sideline. No, that's fair enough. So are you looking forward to the ANZ Premiership? It's starting up and all those games will be on Sky. Are you looking forward to that new look competition?
Yeah, I mean, anything new is a bit exciting. I guess being able to sort of have our own style on the game and maybe just surprise Australia next time we play them with sort of getting our own tactics stronger here, because I think our space marking is quite hard for Aussie. So if we can make those things better, it will be a bit of a fright when we play Aussie next time.
Yeah, so if you don't know, the new competition, there is no Australian teams that are playing in it. It's all New Zealand based and they've added a couple of new teams in as well. Losing that Australian element to the competition though, does that affect our depth or what happens when we do go and play the Silver Ferns? I know you said you think it'll help tactically, but their sort of argy-bargy way of playing netball, is it good for us to come up against it before we face them in the internationals?
Well, I think we've probably shown at that level we can foot it. I mean, in the past tests, we actually have been going quite well against Aussie. But I guess we didn't have the depth to do it in all games across the ANZ, so I think we'll be all right.
Now, tell me a little bit about what assistant coach means in the Tactix setup. Is it an even split of what you do, your roles, or how does it work?
Yeah, I guess in terms of our planning and being on the floor, and each week we sort of, one of us will coach attack, one of us will coach defence, and we just sort of switch round. But I would guess if it comes to a big decision, well, the head coach makes that, but we're pretty even in what we do.
So what is life like as a netball coach in this day and age in the New Zealand setup? Because you're not just the Tactix assistant coach, you're also involved in the Beko League. You're the head coach there. Could you tell us a little about that? Yeah,
so the Beko League is a league underneath the Tactix, and so it's our development players. And I guess the great thing about being involved in both is you have that synergy across the two teams, and with only having 10 players in each team, there will be a bit of movement back and forward, and it's just quite handy to have me across both of those teams.
How do you balance that out in terms of which team you spend the time on? Is that hard for you?
Well, it just makes days a bit longer, so if I have a tactics training on a Wednesday, I'll have my Beko afterwards, so that it'll just be a super day, and then same with Friday mornings. In terms of if we play games against each other, I'll be with the Tactix, and I've actually got 3 assistant coaches with me with the Beko, so they'll just step into those roles. So
this is the second season of the Beko League. Was it extremely successful in the first? Did it do what you'd hoped it would, bringing new players through?
Yeah, I guess it gives you that, so the players that come through the Beko, you have more faith in them coming into the ANZ. It used to be a huge step from sort of the grades that they were playing down there. We had no sort of idea, but seeing them play in that Beko and the way that they built through the season, I think it was really good.
You've been a high-performance coach for a wee while in New Zealand. Yeah. How is the depth of netball in New Zealand from your perspective?
Oh, look, I think the depth is there. Sometimes we'll get to a point where we have positions that we're looking for more in, but I think it's growing all the time, and I think we've got some really exciting things happening, and we're definitely right up there with Aussie, ready to take over.
Good. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, you're actually mates, or aeroplane mates, I should say, with Craig Cumming, who was out on the pitch before.
I am.
But more than that even. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I sat next to Craig on the plane last year, and we were chatting away about sport, and I was wearing my Tactix uniform, and he was going to commentate a rugby game. And then we were chatting away, and we knew sort of the same people, and then we worked out we used to be in the same touch team about 20 years ago.
You just couldn't remember each other?
No, not at all.
So I can't even ask if he was any good?
No, I don't know. I
can't remember?
No.
Bummer. So tell us about how you came to coach, because you did play the game prior to coaching, but did you just love it so much that you decided to stick with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've coached since I was 15, so I've always loved sport. I've had a very sporty family, and then it was natural for me to be a PE teacher, and then with that you end up coaching all sorts of teams in different codes, and Yeah, I think I didn't realise I'd love coaching as much as I do until I actually stopped playing. And then I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And just went from there.
What was that transition like? Was it hard, or did you do bits of coaching during the time that you were playing?
I was always coaching, yeah. So being at schools, I'd do the senior A teams at school, and then as soon as I stopped, I did the under 21 rep teams, and then went through from there. And it wasn't long before I went up, but yeah, it was sort of quite awkward because obviously a few people that I played for Wellington with were in those initial teams that you'd obviously been out with socially, and you know, that sort of thing. So it becomes quite different when you're coaching them.
Yeah, how did you manage that then? Because I imagine that would be quite strange.
Yeah, so you just put your different hat on, and you know, you're at netball, so the netball hat goes on, and yeah.
Just as simple as that. You make it sound very easy.
It does. It sounds quite simple, but yeah, just you have to step aside and you become a bit more professional, I guess.
Now, you said that sport's in your family, and as is coaching, your brother is coming back to New Zealand. He's coaching Canterbury in the Mitre 10 Cup.
He is indeed, yeah. So that's going to be very good for me.
Great. You can get some tickets, you can swap tickets.
Yep.
What is it about coaching with your family? Did your parents teachers as well? Or?
Well, Mum's a teacher, but Mum and Dad were both coaches when we were growing up. So Dad was a rugby coach, and so we often had team events at our house. Yeah, I don't know. It just, everyone's coaches, and my sister isn't a coach, but and isn't that sporty. But yeah, Glenn and I have always been like that.
I was your sister in my family, the not so sporty one. Don't you worry about that. So, who has been your biggest influence in your netball career, playing and coaching?
Playing. Yeah, I guess as a player, I mean, I used to look up to April Aramea when I was young, as a young player, and then I ended up being in the same team as her for St Nick's, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, I think Sandra Edge was probably my all-time favourite player. And, you know, even she's working and coaching now, so I had a bit of involvement with her in netball. Robin Broughton I coached with up in Wellington, and, you know, she has a lot of championships behind her, and she has a lot of really good, calming, influential words that she gives. So just learning, you know, there's people around me that I'm learning from all the time. So I'm pretty fortunate. What
advice would you give to young budding netballers who are coming through the system that would like to become a coach like you?
If they want to be a coach, I guess get involved early. Obviously the people skills is, you know, it's a really important thing. Take all your opportunities. And yeah, just start with a young team and just carry on.
Well, thank you so much.
No worries.
It's been so wonderful having you on the Del Mar Tea Party today. We've got a little goodie bag for you to take home.
Thank
you. To the family, get the boys on the tea early.
Yeah.
We appreciate so much.
No worries.
You coming on with us today. Right, when we come back, the Black Caps have some work to do, I think. 225 for 5 Bangladesh. Can they get some more wickets? We will find out.